Hello everybody, my name is Red Chocobo, but you can call me Red, and welcome back to Pokemon Generations. This is Pokemon Yellow, and here we are in Pewter City. We just got here from Viridian Forest on the last episode, and today we're gonna do a lot in this Stone Gray City. Now, the first thing I want to do is just talk to this one guy right over, if the walking speed is gonna make me move any faster, here. There aren't many serious trainers here. They're all like bug catchers, but Pewter Gym's Brock is totally into it. Yeah, that guy just talks about Brock, the Pewter City Pokemon Gym Leader. Yes, there's a gym right here in Pewter. What we want to do is go over to the gym and defeat Brock. Just so you know, you can't actually leave the city. There are only two exits here, the one we came through and this one right here. And this guy's gonna stay in the way. He's gonna be like, oh, you're a trainer, right? Brock's looking for new challengers. Follow me. And then he's gonna force you to follow him. Whoa, what was that? What path was I taking? Yeah, there's a little bit that I want to do in this one episode. I want to take down Brock's gym. I want to talk to a few NPCs, and there's something really important that I want to take care of in the end slate. So I'm gonna try to make this as fast as possible, but still as content-filled as I usually do. If you have the right stuff, go take on Brock. Oh, I do believe I have the right stuff. And then the dude just walks off and phases through the fence. He's a ghost. Yeah, Lavender Talcum for anyway. Right here. Welcome to the very first Pokemon Gym. This place is where we come to challenge the gym leaders. Right here, this is Brock. If you want to challenge him, we just have to talk to him, but I don't want to challenge him yet. Instead, what I want to do is actually fight this one trainer. Before doing that, I just want to check out these two little things right here. This is a statue. It's gonna be in every single Pokemon gym. It doesn't do anything important. It just states like Pewter City, Pokemon Gym Leader, Brock, winning trainers, Gary. Yeah, Gary was here. We know that for sure. And if you talk to this guy, he's gonna be like, hiya, I can tell you have what it takes to become a Pokemon champ. I'm no trainer, but I can tell you how to win. Let me take you to the top. Yes or no? Yes, sure. Alright, whatever. Alright, let's get happening. It will be tough for your Pikachu at this gym. Electric attacks are harmless to Brock's ground-type Pokemon. Yeah, even though this is a rock-type gym, the common theme throughout this whole gym is actually ground types, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Ground and rock are two completely different types, although they do share some weaknesses, but offensively and yeah, their status is also pretty much always the same. But offensively, they're two very different types, and defensively too, although they have a couple common weaknesses. Just so you know, if you want to challenge Brock, you can, but if you do that, all the trainers in the gym, once you beat the gym leader, all the trainers are not gonna fight you anymore. So what I want to do is actually fight this guy. This is what my team is looking like right now. I have Distraction up to level 6. I grind him a little bit, so he only needs 1 experience to get to the next level. I didn't touch Zoo, I barely touched Wilson. I think both of them just took part in one battle and got like 30 experience or so. And Jim, I also raised him to get really freaking close to level 12. Yeah, he only needs 7 more experience points. So that's what my team is looking like right now. I just want to come over here, that's this trainer's line of sight. You can totally skip him as I did many times right there. And I want to fight this guy to get the levels on both Distraction and Jim. Stop right there, kid! What are you talking about? You're a kid too. You're still light years away from facing Brock. What? Someone tell this kid what light year is, because I don't think he... No. Anyway, here is a trainer at the Pokemon Gym. This guy is pretty easy. On the very first gym, they just wanted to take things really slowly, so they just put one easy trainer with only 2 Pokemon for you to fight, and even that guy is optional. He's gonna send out a Diglett. Diglett is level 9 on Pokemon Yellow, and on Pokemon Red and Blue, all of the Pokemon in this gym are 2 levels higher. So this Diglett's gonna be 11, and every other Pokemon is gonna be 2 levels higher. Diglett's a pure ground type, and Diglett has the lowest base HP in the entire... Oh, what do I mean, run? Diglett has the lowest base HP on the entire game. We can't catch Diglett yet, so I'm not gonna get into too much detail. But basically, Diglett is very fast, somewhat defensive, with the lowest HP in the entire game. But yeah, it doesn't deal a lot of damage. It's just a mediocre Pokemon overall. We will be able to catch it later, but since we can't catch it yet, I'm not gonna do a full bio for it. As you can see, he's so fast that he can totally outspeed Jim. Yeah, without any problems. But his HP is so low. He probably has like 20 HP, I don't know, like 15 HP at level 9, I don't know. And that was a critical hit. On the first generation, critical hits are based off of the Pokemon's base speed, and since Diglett is a Pokemon with very high base speed, then it's very easy for Digletts, Pikachus, Raichus, and whatever is really fast to get a lot of critical hits. I'm gonna get into the math of that later on, but yeah. Diglett goes down, Distraction grew to level 7. And I want you to pay really close attention to those stats. Distraction is now level 7, so yeah, just remember those stats for now. Jim also grew to level 12, and on level 12, Jim is gonna learn Double Kick. This is the move that I wanted to learn. Double Kick is another fighting type move. It hits twice, so it's pretty good. But I am gonna avoid using Jim, even though I did get him to the level that I wanted him to be. I'm gonna avoid using him just because of how strong he is. I'm gonna try to use more Wilson than Jim, just because, you know, Wilson's more balanced all around. The Junior Trainer's next Pokemon is Sandshrew. Sandshrew is another pure ground type Pokemon with pretty high defense, very slow, and mediocre attack, good HP, but still. Using physical attacks against Sandshrew is not optimal. He has pretty low special, so special attacks would be the way to go. But ground types are actually immune to electric moves, so we can't actually use Zoo in this gym. So yeah, because of that, it's just better to use physical attacks, even though Sandshrew and Diglett and whatever have really high defenses, because we just don't have special moves that actually deal damage here. So after we take down Sandshrew, boom, fainted, and we gain some experience. Oh, nice, level 10. Awesome. That's gonna help out against Brock. And Junior Trainer's down. Darn! Light years isn't time, it measures distance. Then why did you say what? How did you find that out in the 5 minutes that we were fighting? And anyway, Distraction is evolving, as you remember. Caterpie evolves into Metapod at level 7. So once Caterpie reaches level 7, after you finish the battle in which Caterpie got to level 7, he's gonna evolve into Metapod. I could have pressed the B button to cancel the evolution, but I actually wanted to evolve right here. And at level 7, Metapods learn Harden. Caterpies do not learn Harden at level 7. Metapods do. So if I were to cancel the evolution, I would have to wait until level 8 to actually evolve the Caterpie into the Metapod. But by then, the Metapod would already be past level 7. It would already be level 8. And Metapod only learns Harden at level 7. And because of that, it would just miss out on Harden. And that's how moves work. You know, if an evolution doesn't have a move, then that evolution is not gonna learn the move, even though another member of the family does learn the move. Anyway, you might remember that Caterpie had 10 attack, 10 defense, 11 speed, I think, and 10 special. Metapod stats are very different. That's because of the base stats of the species, Metapod. And, once again, here are the moves. It's easier to raise Metapod, it's easier to raise Caterpie into Metapod, because as a Metapod, he's gonna retain Tackle and String Shot. So, yeah. Now that we defeated this trainer, I wanna stop by the Pokemon Center real quick, and I will be right back. Alright, we're back, we're all healed up and ready to take on Brock. Distraction is now a Metapod, so I wanna switch it to the back. As I said, I'm gonna be focusing more on Wilson than Jim, because Jim is really overpowered. So I think I'm ready to take on Brock. If you don't trust your skills or your Pokemon, I recommend that you save before actually facing every gym leader. But I think I can do it. I think we're gonna be good. So let's just do it. Let's talk to Brock. I'm Brock. I'm Pewter's gym leader. I believe in rock hard defense and determination. Someone's been playing a lot of Undertale lately. That's why my Pokemon are all the rock type. Yeah, and your trainers are ground. Please explain. Do you still want to challenge me? You know I do. Fine then, show me your moves. No, show me your best. There you go. I am a huge fan of the trainer leader theme thing on Generation 1. It is so good. Just listen to it. It is so good. Jeez. I could listen to this all day long. Anyway, here we are. The fight against leader Brock. He's gonna open up with a level 10 Geodude. Once again, level 12 on red and blue. It knows Tackle. On red and blue, it also knows Defense Curl. So, you know, there's that. It is gonna increase defense with this defense curl. That's all it does. Geodude is a rock ground Pokemon. Once again, we can't catch it yet, so I'm not gonna go into detail on what Geodude is. But basically it has very high defenses, low speed, low special, somewhat good HP, and a good attack, I guess. For a Geodude at least. Geodude is the first one of a 3 Pokemon evolutionary line. So yeah, it can evolve twice, so it's still a first form. So being a rock type, Geodude is weak to fighting type moves. And this is why I really do recommend that you catch either Mankey or Nidoran male or female. The females also learn the fighting type. Oh, critical hit. Nice. Good job, Wilson. And it's gonna use Tackle. Okay, this is why I highly recommend that you catch either a Mankey or a Nidoran, just because of the fighting type moves that you will learn. On Red and Blue, this is not such a huge deal, but on Yellow, you just can't take on Brock with only your Pikachu. The only non-electric move that Pikachu learns is Quick Attack at level 14. And Quick Attack's normal type, Geodude is Rock type, which means that Geodude is gonna resist normal type moves. So in order to deal not very effective damage to Brock's Pokemon with only your Pikachu, you have to be level 14. Yeah, you have to raise our Pikachu up to level 14 to deal not very effective damage onto Brock. Which is why it's really freaking hard to take on Brock with only your Pikachu. So yeah, catch a Mankey. Highly recommend it. And now Brock is gonna send out his next Pokemon. To beat the gym leader, of course, you have to defeat all of his Pokemon. Now he's gonna send out Onyx. Oh boy, here we go. Onyx is a very dangerous Pokemon. Onyx is the exception of rock and ground Pokemon. Usually rock ground Pokemon are very slow and very defensive. But, you know, they have other stats like HP, maybe attack, maybe special, who knows. But yeah, usually they're very defensive and very slow, but Onyx is the exception. Onyx is the fastest rock type Pokemon in Generation 1. I think it's the fastest, yeah, only rock. Not ground, I think Diglett outspeeds him. And it has a massive defense. Like, it's crazy how huge Onyx's defense is. It's level 10 here it's level 12 here in Yellow, level 14 on Red and Blue. It knows Tackle, Leer, Bind, and Bide. I'm not gonna go over what Bide does, just know that if he uses Bide, you don't want to attack him. Let's see what he's gonna do here. Leer's gonna lower your defense. I just noticed that we have Leer right here. So yeah, be careful for that. He also knows Bind. Bind is a really jerk move. I don't know what they were thinking when they coded this move into the game. Bind is... oh nice, another critical. Jeez, you go Wilson, you go. Bind is basically a move that will deal damage every single turn. Oh, it missed again? What? It doesn't have that low accuracy, does it? Wow, okay. Anyway, basically Bind will deal damage. Well, it will deal very little damage, so, you know, it's not too overpowered, but it will completely immobilize the Pokemon that it's being used against. So if your Pokemon is faster than the enemy Pokemon, then the enemy Pokemon is not gonna do anything as long as you keep spamming Bind. And that move is just completely broken. I know that it was... oh, it's using Bide. Okay. Yeah, if it uses Bide, don't attack him. I am still gonna attack him because it's gonna take him out, so it won't matter that he used Bide. But still, if he uses Bide in the beginning of the battle or when you don't think he's gonna get knocked out, then I highly recommend that you don't attack him. You just switch out, heal up, debuff him, do whatever you want to do. Just don't attack him. And just so you know, Pikachu's Thunder Shock is also not effective on both Onyx and Geodude because they are part ground. So yeah, even status moves, if they are electric, they're not going to work on ground type Pokemon. And there we go! Onyx is defeated, we gain some experience, we grow to level 11, sweet. And we defeated trainer, well, leader, Brock. Here we go. I took you for granted. As proof of our victory, here's the Boulder Badge. And we received the Boulder Badge. This is the only instance in the entire series that we receive a badge in the battle menu. So, there we go. Just fun fact for you. That's an official Pokemon League badge. Its bearers Pokemon become more powerful. Yes, once you receive the Boulder Badge, you're gonna receive a 1/8 increase in your attack stats. This only works on single player. Multiplayer is not affected by badges, but on single player, your attack power does become 1/8 higher. than usual. So for every 8 points you have on attack, you're gonna get 1 extra attack power. It's not gonna show up on the Pokemon stats, it's only gonna be used for calculation, so there's that. But yeah, increase attack once you get the Boulder Badge. The technique Flash can now be used anytime. We're gonna get into more detail later, but Flash is basically a technique that can be used both in battle and outside of battle. But if we don't have the Boulder Badge, we can't actually use it outside of battle. But now that we do, it's here, and we get some money. We get a lot of money for beating Brock. Wait, take this with you, it's dangerous to go alone. And we received TM34. TM stands for Technical Machine number 34. A TM contains a technique that can be taught to Pokemon. A TM is good only once, so when you use it to teach a new technique, pick the Pokemon carefully. Yes, save those words in your head. TMs are limited. You can't, there aren't unlimited TMs in the game. So whenever you want to, there are a couple unlimited TMs in the game. But still, most of them are limited. So whenever you want to teach a TM to a Pokemon, just be really careful because you're probably not gonna get a second one. TM34 contains Bite. This is the move that Brock's Onyx was trying to use. Bite. Your Pokemon will absorb damage in battle, then pay it back double. This means that if your Pokemon takes, for example, 40 damage while it's charging up, while it's bracing itself, I don't know what it does. Then once it unleashes the energy, it's gonna deal a total of 80 damage. And at this point, as you can see by our Pokemon, we can't take that. So yeah, whenever a Pokemon uses Bite, don't attack it. That's all I have to say. Let's talk to Brock again. There are all kinds of trainers in the world. Some raise Pokemon for fights, some see them as pets. I'm in training to become a Pokemon breeder. If you take our Pokemon training seriously, go visit the gym in Cerulean and test your abilities. Then that we shall do, Brock. That we shall do. Now, I've said this a couple times. Pokemon Yellow is supposed to be the part of the Pokemon anime, so, you know, they base a lot of things around that. So in the anime, Brock follows Ash around, but here in the game, he doesn't actually. He is just the gym leader. So I just want to stop by the Pokemon Center real quick, heal up, and then I'm gonna, you know, take a stroll around Pewter City. This is a nice place, so it deserves some time. So I will meet you guys, I don't know when. Be right back. Okay, now the very first thing I want to do is actually in here, in the Pokemon Center. I briefly talked about this before, but I didn't want to touch on it just because it wasn't relevant. Back when I first went through the PC, we only had Pikachu by our side, but now we have more Pokemon on our team. So if we access someone's PC, we're gonna access the Pokemon storage system. Here we can deposit and withdraw Pokemon. We can also release Pokemon that we don't want anymore. Boxes are basically where you store your Pokemon. Each box can hold up to 20 Pokemon, and every time you need to change your box, the active box, you can see the active one right there on the corner of the screen. Every time you want to change the box, the active box, you're gonna have to save the game, so be mindful of that. When you want to deposit Pokemon, you will just pick whichever Pokemon is in your party and deposit it. You can also check the stats if you wanna know what Pokemon it is. You are gonna be seeing only the nickname, and that's it. So you know, oh, I don't remember what Pokemon this is. Then you can check the stats and see, oh, it's a Metapod, okay. And then once the Pokemon is deposited, it's gonna stay right there. So it is not in our team anymore. Yeah, Distraction was deposited. I don't actually wanna deposit Distraction. I just wanted to show it off because there's actually something really cool that we can do here in this one Pokemon Center. I'm gonna withdraw Distraction again. There we go. Release Pokemon is just send Pokemon back to the wild. Oh, I caught a Pokemon that is so bad that I don't want to keep it. Then you can just release it. Be mindful that you can only carry 6 Pokemon at once. So whenever you catch a new Pokemon and you already have 6 on your party, then the new Pokemon you just caught will be sent to the PC. However, if the active box is full, then you are not going to be able to catch the Pokemon. I don't remember if you can't throw the Pokeball or you're just not going to be able to keep the Pokemon. I'm pretty sure you can't throw the Pokeball because your box is full. So yeah, there's that. If your box is close to being full, then just switch boxes. That's all you have to do. Here in this one Pokemon Center is the one thing that I want to show off. No, don't do that, Zoo. Don't do that. Okay, sorry about that cut. My bird was trying to chew on my cable. Here in the Pokemon Center in Pewter City, there's this one Pokemon right here. So let's talk to this guy who's by the Pokemon. When Jigglypuff sings, Pokemon get drowsy. Me too. Yeah, so apparently when Jigglypuff sings, whoever that is, it's a Pokemon, people get drowsy, so I just noticed that there's a joke in there. Anyway, let's talk to this Pokemon. Jigglypuff. Oh, this is... this is a nice song. I'm gonna take a nap. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I don't know what happened. I just suddenly felt really sleepy, and there's something written on my face. I don't know what that is. Anyway, whenever Jigglypuff sings, everything around it goes to sleep, even Pikachu. Yeah. So if you talk to Pikachu after talking to Jigglypuff, he's gonna be asleep. So just talk to him, and he's gonna be like, "Ah, I'm so sleepy," and then he wakes up. Yeah. If you talk to Pikachu, Pikachu wakes up. And if you talk to Jigglypuff again, this is actually the really cool thing that I wanted to show off. He's gonna sing again, normal stuff. Every time you talk to Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff's gonna sing. And now Pikachu's not following us around. He's actually just standing there because he's asleep. And if we actually try to deposit Pikachu when he's not near us, check this out. Access someone's PC, storage system, let's deposit, zoo. There isn't any response. So yeah, it's just one of those little things. This can only be done in this one Pokemon Center, in this one Pokemon game. It never happens ever again in the entire series. So I just find it a really cool detail. You don't actually have to talk to Pikachu. It's just a cool little Easter egg because of the character Jigglypuff in the anime. So, you know, Pikachu falls asleep and stops following you. But yeah, that was pretty much all. The next person that I want to talk about is this guy right here, Talk Chew. You know what I'm doing? No, what are you doing? I'm spraying Repel to keep Pokemon out of my garden. Ooh, spraying Repel to keep Pokemon out of gardens, huh? I wonder, what if we spray Repel on ourselves? Will we keep wild Pokemon away if we are traveling through tall grass? If only we had access to Repels right now. If only. So next up I want to come here into this house and talk to this guy. Our Pokemon is an outsider, so it's hard to handle. An outsider is a Pokemon that you get in a trade. It grows fast, but it may ignore an unskilled trainer in battle. If only we had some badges. Yeah, so what this guy's talking about is that to prevent people from trading one level 100 Pokemon into brand new save files. So for example, oh, I just beat the game on Pokemon Red and I'm gonna start Pokemon Yellow next. So I'm just gonna send out all my Pokemon that are already in level 90 to my Pokemon Yellow and just breeze through the game. In order to prevent that from happening, they coded a mechanic that will basically mean that high-level Pokemon won't obey you unless you have the necessary badges. By default, you can train Pokemon up to level 20. From level 21 and onwards, Pokemon are gonna stop obeying you, so keep that in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Traded Pokemon do gain more experience, but if they get too high-leveled, they are not gonna obey you anymore. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Next up, I want to talk to this guy right here. Hello, you. Did you check out the museum? No, I didn't. Really? You absolutely have to go. Okay, then just drag me there, whatever. It's not as if I care. And there's... No. I thought I was stepping on my bird. It's right here. You have to pay to get in. But it's worth it. See you around. Around and around. Anyway, in case you didn't know, Pokemon Red and Green were remade for the Game Boy Advance on 2003, I think? Not entirely sure. And in those remakes called Fire Red and Leaf Green, there's actually a hidden item somewhere around here, to the west of the museum. So yeah, if you're playing the remakes, pick it up. It's not in the original, so we're not gonna mess with it. So let's come in here into the museum. It's 50 Pokédollars for a child's ticket. Would you like to come in? Oh, sure. I have enough money. Okay, so here in the museum, there's actually not a whole lot to do. You don't have to come in here at all. But it has some nice things to look at. Let's talk to this guy. That is one magnificent fossil. Oh, that really is one magnificent fossil. Aerodactyl fossil, a primitive and rare Pokemon. Oh, nice. I wonder if we'll ever meet an Aerodactyl. That is another nice fossil. Kabutops fossil, a primitive and rare Pokemon. No, that's interesting. And now for the saddest story ever told in a Pokemon game. Let's talk to this old guy. July 20th, 1969, the first lunar landing. I bought a color TV to watch it. Now, do you want to know why this is the saddest story ever told in Pokemon history? Well, the first lunar landing was broadcast in black and white. Yeah, so even if you have a color TV, you couldn't actually watch it in colors because it was being broadcasted in black and white. Now I know, yeah, just overreacting over that. Anyway, let's check out this one thing. Meteorite that fell on Mount Moon. Moonstone? Yeah. Moonstone is an item that, it's an evolutionary stone that can be used to evolve certain Pokemon. And right here we also have the Space Shuttle Columbia. Yeah, quite a cool shuffle. Of course, this is a reference to the Moon mission. This whole thing is just a huge reference to the Moon mission, because pretty soon we're actually going to be meeting an area that has a lot to do with Moon. So let's talk to this girl right here. I want a Pikachu. It's so cute. I asked my daddy to catch me one. Oh, unfortunately I can't find any wild Pikachus in this version. Sorry, girl. I'd like to get that Pikachu off you, but it's too attached to you. It seems more distracted than attached to me, but hey, whatever you say. I'm pretty sure that guy says that even if Pikachu hates you, so yeah, just a little detail. Next up, I want to come over here to the Pokemart and buy some items. So let's talk to this guy. A shady old man got me to buy this really weird fish Pokemon. It's totally weak and it costs 500 Pokédollars. Oh, that's not too expensive. It's still kind of expensive, but not too expensive. But if the Pokemon is bad, then why keep it? Good things happen if you raise Pokemon diligently, even the weak ones. That is not 100% true, but sure, whatever you say, dude. Anyway, I just want to come over here to buy some items. There are a couple new items that we can buy, for example, escape ropes. Basically, whenever you get into a dungeon and you don't think you're going to be able to get out through the door of the dungeon, then you can just use an escape rope. You're going to be teleported to the last Pokemon Center you used. I want to buy one just to, keep it in my inventory in case I need it. If I run into a tight spot, then I can just, use the escape rope and get out of it. And the other new item is Burn Heal. Burn Heal is another item that will heal status conditions. It will heal Burn, as you might have guessed. So yeah, we can't yet see Burn, so I don't recommend you catch it. Still, paralysis is not going to be a thing, but we are going to be running into a couple Pokemon that can put you to sleep. So I do recommend that you pick up at least a few awakenings. And now on the yellow version, you can't actually run into any poison Pokemon, well, any Pokemon that have poison type damage, until after you beat Brock, so yeah, I was actually overreacting a little bit. If you want to buy antidotes, do it now. You don't actually need to do it before. And I want to spend the rest of my money on Pokeballs. Yeah, it's always nice to have Pokeballs. If you run into a Pokemon that you want to catch, then you don't have Pokeballs, then it's probably going to be kind of messy because the Pokemon you want to catch might be rare. So yeah, it's always nice to have Pokeballs around. Next up, I want to come into this house right here, right below the Pokemon Center, and this is the last thing I want to do. I want to talk to this guy. Hello, you. Pokemon learn new techniques as they grow, but some rules must be taught by the trainer. Yeah, this guy is talking about TMs, the item that we got from Brock. For example, TM34, it contains Bide. If you want to teach a move to a Pokemon, not every Pokemon can learn every TM, just keep that in mind. For example, Metapod cannot learn Bide. The only move that Metapod can ever learn is Harden. Yeah, it will keep whatever moves your Caterpie had when you evolved it, but Metapod itself can't learn any new moves. And if I want to teach Bide to someone, for example, I don't know, let's teach it to Wilson, sure. Wilson will learn Bide. There you go. And that's how TMs work. You just pick a Pokemon, well, you pick the TM, pick the Pokemon that can learn it, and boom, it learns. Now keep in mind that every Pokemon can only have 4 moves at once. If you want your Pokemon to learn a new move when you already have 4 moves, you're gonna have to delete one of the moves. So keep that in mind whenever teaching TMs. Pokemon can rarely ever relearn moves that they already have learned. So if you give up one of the moves that you really want, that are really strong, then you will just have to catch a new Pokemon, I guess. Yeah. So really do think twice, do your research before overriding any move that you might want to keep around. Next up, I want to talk to this guy. Pokemon become easier to catch when they are hurt or asleep. But it's not a sure thing. So that guy's gonna be my segue into the end of the video, yeah! So I wanted to make this video a little bit shorter, didn't work out, I guess I just talked too much. But yeah, I wanna take some time on the end to explain the catching mechanics on the first generation. They are very different from every other generation, so I do think it deserves its own screen time and explanation and everything else. So this is gonna be it for this episode. Next time, we're gonna be heading out of Pewter City into Route 3 and do whatever has to be done there. So thank you all for watching this one episode, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Goodbye. Still cute. Still cute. Alrighty, let's get this started. But before we start, let's just clarify that from Generation 2 and onwards, the whole thing that I'm gonna talk about right now was completely reworked. What I'm gonna talk about is the Generation 1 capture mechanics. On the first generation, it is actually an algorithm that you have to follow in order to, see if you're gonna catch or not. But from Generation 2 and onwards, the whole thing was reworked to a simple formula, where all you really need to do is put the numbers into the proper slots, and then you get a precise number that will indicate your current catch rate. But in Generation 1, the programmers just didn't think too hard about it. They had no idea Pokemon would blow up like it did, so they just did what was easy to do, not necessarily easy to understand. And yes, in most computer languages, this is easier to code than this. First, since it didn't show up in the series yet, there are 5 possible outcomes when you choose to throw a Pokeball at a wild Pokemon. Number 1, it missed. Number 2, 1 shaky shaky, then it fails. Number 3, 2 shaky shakies, then it fails. Number 4, 3 shaky shakies, then it fails. And number 5, 3 shaky shakies, and it catches. It will never catch with less than 3 shakes. Having the Pokeball miss, or the number of times the Pokeball shakes, is nothing but a way of the game telling you how high or low your current chances are. Miss means you can still increase the catch rate by a lot. 1 shaky shaky, you can still increase the catch rate by a considerable amount. 2 shaky shakies, you can still raise it a little tad. 3 shaky shakies, you can probably still raise it, but chances are you don't really need to. Keep in mind that it is completely possible to miss the Pokeball in one turn and have it catch on the very next one without doing anything special to the Pokemon. There is, however, one exception to this rule. Here we are dealing with possibilities, chance, not a sure thing, unless we are dealing with the one exception that I'm going to talk about when we come down to it. But we can raise the chance to more than 100%, which will result in a guaranteed catch. And just to get it out of the way, no. Having a certain Pokemon out when you throw the Pokeball will not increase your chances. Having more Pokemon in your Pokédex does not increase your chances until Generation 5. The game will not give you a boost just because of your last Pokeball, and by Yardstills almighty, no, holding B up does not increase your chances. All of those are urban myths created because people want to believe in something that is purely placebo. There is no data in any other games that proves that these even could be true. Now let's get cracking. One thing worth mentioning is that the game only works with natural numbers, so if you get a decimal, round it down, aka ignore the decimals. So to start things off, we're gonna need a few numbers that should be reset every time you throw another ball. First, we're gonna use 2 numbers, R and S. R is a random number between 0 and 255 when using a normal Pokeball, 0 and 200 if it's a Great Ball, and 0 to 150 if it's an Ultra or Safari Ball. S is a value attached to a status condition. Sleep and freeze will be 25, paralysis, burn, or poison will be 12, and volatile conditions such as confusion, lowered stats, leech seed, transform substitute, etc., or no condition at all, is 0. When we do R minus S, we get A. If A is lower than 0, you catch. Now we're gonna have to look at a Pokemon's base capture rate. This is a number assigned to the Pokemon species that ranges from 0 to 255, although there are no Pokemon with 0 catch rate. For example, all Caterpies will have 255 base capture rate. All Metapods will have a base catch rate of 120, and all Butterfrees will have a base catch rate of 45, even though we can't actually run into wild Butterfrees. You can find these at the Pokemon pages in the description, or you can check the list of Pokemon by catch rate. It is generally associated to how strong a Pokemon is. The stronger the Pokemon you're trying to catch, the lower the base catch rate will be. If the base catch rate is equal to or greater than A, which we calculated in the previous step, you catch. If not, we go to the next step. The HP factor, shortened to just F. For this one, you would need to know the exact max HP of the Pokemon you're facing, which is simply not possible unless you're using some sort of hack. So all we can do here is guess. If you want to have a closer guess, you can just click the stats calculator in the description. Input the Pokemon species and level and you'll get a range of possible values for the actual HP. It varies like that because of another mechanic that will be explained later. Anyway, take the maximum HP, multiply it by 255, then divide it by 12, 8 if you're using a Great Ball. Call it F1. Take the current HP, again you can only guess, although you can take a good guess based on the color of the bar. The HP bar will become yellow once it reaches 55% and red once it reaches 30%. So, take the current HP, divide by 4, and call it F2. If F2 is 0, ignore F2 and work with only F1. If F2 is greater than 0, divide F1 by F2 and make that F. If F ends up greater than 255, make it 255 instead. Now you're gonna want to generate a second random number from 0 to 55. Call that number Q. If F is greater than or equal to Q, you catch. If not, the capture will fail and we go to how many times the ball shakes, aka how close you were to catching. Take the base catch rate and multiply it by 100, then divide it by 255 if you use the Pokeball, 200 if you use the Great Ball, or 150 if you use an Ultra or Safari Ball. Call it W1 for Wobble. Multiply W1 by F and divide it by 255. Call it W2. Add 0 to W2 if the Pokemon has volatile status conditions or no status, 5 if the Pokemon has poison, burn, or paralysis, and 10 if it has sleep or freeze. Call that new number W, then compare. If W is less than 10, the ball misses. If W is greater than 9 and less than 30, one wobble. If W is greater than 29 and less than 70, two wobbles. If W is greater than or equal to 70, three wobbles, but no catch. Now the algorithm doesn't go precisely like that, the game actually takes a couple steps in other orders, but this is a simple way to explain it, all without going into too much detail. If you want to look at the full algorithm, you can check the link in the description with step by step on how the game does, what it does, and when it does what. So, what does this all mean? Well, long story short, there's a cap to how high the catch rate can go. First, we have a rule of thumb. Pokeballs will always be outclassed by the other balls. So once you have access to those, you don't need to buy Pokeballs ever again. Next, Safari Balls are exclusive to one area of the game, so no need to worry about those. When you get to where you can use Safari Balls, they're going to be exactly like Ultra Balls. The Master Ball, a very specific and rare item, has a fixed catch rate, and thus will be completely unaffected by this whole process that was just described. And now, Great Balls versus Ultra Balls. The programmers intend for Great Balls to be better than Pokeballs and Ultra Balls to be better than Great Balls. But because of how the algorithm works, that's not exactly how it goes. Depending on what ball you're using, there will be what we call cut-off point. The cut-off point is the percentage of health where lowering it further will be insignificant. For Pokeballs and Ultra Balls, that point is 33% HP, and for Great Balls, that point is 50%. Lowering it further does increase the chances, but the difference is about 0.001%, so pretty much completely negligible. For Pokemon with a high base catch rate, Great and Ultra Balls will reach 100% catch chance at their respective cutoff points, while Pokemon with low base catch rates, the cutoff point will be applied, but it will not be at 100% chance. Next up, we have statuses: Sleep, Freeze, Paralysis, Burn, and Poison. Any other statuses don't matter at all, they don't make the slightest difference in this whole algorithm. All statuses will increase your chance by a flat amount. About 4.5% for Paralysis, Poison, and Burn, and about 9.6% for Sleep and Freeze for normal Pokeball. So with all that information, we are able to say a few things. Lowering the HP after 1/3 is useless. All balls will be better than Pokeballs. Great Balls will be better than Ultra Balls between half and max HP, with or without statuses. Ultra Balls, however, will be better than Great Balls at 48% HP, with or without statuses. In a hurry, against Pokemon with a low base catch rate, statuses are always more effective than HP lowering. On the other hand, against Pokemon with a high base catch rate, HP lowering is always more effective than inflicting statuses. A combination of the two, however, will always be better than just one of them, as long as their percentage hasn't reached 100% yet. So, there you have it, the precise mechanics of the Generation 1 catching process. Don't forget to check the links in the description for more detailed explanations, a website that gives you a precise catch chance, and more information on all the Pokemon and areas visited in this episode. Also, don't forget that starting on February 27th, the anniversary of Pokemon Red and Green, the three original Pokemon games, Red, Blue, and Yellow, will be released on the Nintendo 3DS Virtual Console. So, be sure to buy those if you want to play along or you just want to take a trip down nostalgia lane.